So you don't have to wait to be in the room where it happens much longer. The movie of the record-breaking musical Hamilton is coming to Disney Plus. And more than a year ahead of schedule. Original Hamilton star Onaodowan is with me now. Hi, Oak.
Hi, how are you?
You know, I'm doing okay considering the times that we're in. How are
Yeah.
you doing just with everything? How are you processing everything?
It's difficult. Some days are great, some days it's terrible. But
Yeah.
it's just a roller coaster because it doesn't seem like anything is settling anytime soon.
So let's talk about Hamilton.
I
How has it been 5 years? Does it feel like it's been a long time, or does it feel like it went like that?
Yeah, a lot of life has happened from the presidency to George Floyd. Like it's been nothing but every year it's something new and kind of paradigm shifting seems to be coming up. So it does. It's hard to believe that there was a time where all we worried about was like singing and dancing on stage.
Yeah, but there is, I think a lot of people take away, from Hamilton what it represented, right, with the cast alone. And I wonder for you, what meaning it has or impact do you think that it will have coming out now?
I don't know. Then I didn't know then. People would ask about the legacy of the show and how it's going to change things. And I would say time will really let us know what is changed and how it has changed. And I think the same goes for this. Like when it's released on July 3rd, I'm curious to see how these words now land on fans on both sides of that conversation. People who share my ideals and Cap's ideals. And I'm very curious as to all the Hamilton fans who disagree with the Black Lives Matter movement as to what they think of hearing Hamilton say things that people in the protests are saying right now.
I know that the cast recently reunited for a special edition of John Krasinski's Some Good News. When I saw that, it just made me think about the original cast of this production and just how special the relationship, in my mind, must be between you guys. Can you kind of take us inside that a little bit?
Absolutely. I think with any project, but especially arts, it's such a wholly unique thing that
Yeah.
only the people who were there can understand that. And we still talk to this day. To this day, we as a cast separate are coming together to try and use our own voices in terms of changing the narrative surrounding all the protests and helping people who are out there fighting to see an America that they believe in.
We spoke a little bit about George Floyd and his death. And I know that years ago, you were speaking on a panel, I believe it was. You talked about the need for Broadway to basically take a knee. And I wonder what changes you think we'll see out of the Broadway community.
I have no idea. Unfortunately, I do not have faith that many great changes that we need will happen in that community. I think Broadway needs to start doing the work that the rest of the country is doing right now, which is recognizing the biases against people of color, acknowledging the fact that directors, producers, theater owners mute and silence Black and people of color, their voices in terms of control over our narrative. And I think it's time to stop casting people of color in like white roles. Just have roles that were made for us, that tell our story, that feature us. I would like to see more artists of color leading Broadway shows. And I think that needs to happen. In the conversation needs to start. And I feel like it's finally starting.
Let's talk a little Station 19.
Yeah.
Because fans would get at me if I didn't. End of last season, a lot of folks are like, what's going to happen with Dean and Vic? Can you tell us anything?
Oh, Vic dies.
No.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
She does not. I'm like, what?
I mean, they will be back. What you saw isn't the end of their relationship. Let me just say that.
Okay. Will there be more Barrett and Oak singing?
I'm
not joking about this. This needs to happen because the voices are just so beautiful.
Okay, fine. There will be more because you have asked. There will be an entire episode dedicated to Dean and Vic singing. I'll talk to Krista now.
So listen, I want to let everybody know that you can catch Hamilton streaming on Disney Plus on July 3rd. Oak, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it as well.